Paul Sanderson, the founder of Assist, was one of my favorite people. He was a wonderfully charismatic man with a really strong vision.
If you met Paul Sanderson, you could not help but be drawn to him. He was magnetic.
He was a Pied Piper. He was a magical personality. That was the spirit that Sandy had, I think, when he set out to make this thing work.
In 1968, Sandy decided to take a sabbatical from Suffield Academy to go to Europe for a year to set up an international program, and the Assist program is the result of that.
Well, the early days of Assist were interesting. We went to Germany and set up in a little town south of Munich, and he began the process of talking to people and developing this idea to bring international students to America. But not just any students, students that were able to provide something special to the school, academically, athletically, etc.
The tremendous challenge was to try to persuade the State Department, local schools, plus teachers of the American schools, that this was a program worth looking into and supporting. But Sandy, undaunted, he never thought it wouldn't succeed.
The first class came in the summer of 1970. I don't know the exact numbers, 8 the first year, and then it grew to 18 or 20. Each summer, I would go down to New York City with Dad. Two of us would take a Suffield Academy van, drive to JFK, and we would sit there in the respective airline terminals with a sign that said Assist. We managed to find the students, bring them back up to Suffield. The orientation those days was the next day we got together and sort of told them what life was be about, and then we would take them off to the respective schools.
So it just grew and grew, and eventually, after we had had the program for a number of years, Sandy decided to run it full time.
Our school has been noticeably transformed by the addition of international students. Students from the Assist program are outstanding kids who just have had an instant impact.
I found that the Assist students really bring an amazing perspective, and what's neat is no two have been all that similar. There's a really neat kind of sense of diversity that Assist brings us in terms of the type of kid and where they're coming from.
Assist is an organization that is now nearly 50 years old that is identifying excellent students and bringing them to the United States for the junior year experience in a number of independent day and boarding schools.
Many times the Assist students stand out because they represent a culture, a language, a geography that is otherwise not present in our student body.
I think it's vital, particularly in this day and age, that many of our students in independent schools have that exposure to peers who can broaden their own worldview.
I think the Assist program has been more important than people realize in changing us as a nation, and it builds those bridges of understanding across the globe.
Hello everyone, my name is Barbara Kvasničková and I come from Czech Republic, and I hope this year will really change my life.
We bring these incredible kids into the finest independent schools across the United States who are also looking for this kind of life-changing experience for their communities, and we make this wonderful match.
Hello, my name is Liliana Balatel. I am from Moldova, Chisinau, and I'm very excited to be here with the Assist.
The Assist student needs to be someone who's going to become engaged in their American school quickly.
Hi, I'm Ivailo, I'm from Bulgaria, and I'm very excited to be here.
The Assist students come prepared for success because they have this curiosity, they have courage, they have the self-confidence to be able to step off the beaten path.
But the Assist orientation is a masterpiece. It's just amazing the cohesion that happens in this group of 180 young people who don't know each other from day one.
Starting with orientation, I really had time to adjust. They would give me an impression about what life at a boarding school would actually look like.
I think probably the most important aspect of the orientation is reminding the students that they have a tremendous support system to help them throughout the year.
All right.
They're not doing this alone.
The culminating event is traditions of our cultures. You'll see this masterful orchestration of events and an amazing celebration of traditions within their own countries. And what we're hoping for, that this is just a practice run for what they're going to bring to their schools.
I'm Hamza Abi, assistant scholar at St. Albans School in Washington, D.C. I'm very proud to represent my country in the United States.
Our assist student this year is Hamza Abi from Somaliland, and he's been a tremendous addition to St. Albans. His teachers love working with him. He's done exceptionally well in the classroom. He's really taken to the athletic offerings. He's made friends very quickly.
In January, I decided to give the whole our school a lecture about where I'm coming from, Somaliland, what is it like, what the culture is like in Africa.
The boys gave him a standing ovation, and I think for many of them, they had no idea exactly where he was coming from, and they were completely awestruck.
And that is why I'm here for assist to educate American kids about where I'm coming from, at the same time learn their culture and their values and how they view the world.
Not unlike many of the other assist scholars, Hamza's become something of a cult hero at St. Albans. He's remarkably driven to succeed, but not just for himself. He clearly has a sense of his larger mission in life for his family, I think even his people and his nation.
His natural curiosity, joy, and passion for learning is why we teach. We just are so blessed.
Every day he makes this community a substantially better place, and we're so fortunate to have him as a member of St. Albans.
We're very fortunate to have with us this year Bara. She's from the Czech Republic. She has just been an instant, wonderful addition to our community. And our school motto is Multa Benefacta, many things done well. And to have a student who has arrived from a different country to step right into that role has been terrific.
The first students I met were actually those who became my biggest friends. Those are all the students from the cross-country team. They were all really excited to see me. They had a lot of questions about the Czech Republic. I really love being engaged in a conversation and introducing a different culture to Americans.
When I think back to the school year about Bara, it's just fabulous to have a student from another culture in your classroom. You might think, what opportunity is there to talk about different cultures in science? There's lots of opportunities, and I can't tell you how many times things came up where we would say, well, Bara, how do they do it in the Czech Republic? And she would tell us wonderful stories. It'd be very hard to put a value on that, but I know that it contributed to the classroom a lot.
How amazing would it be living in a completely educated world where everybody kind of would be aware of how it is to live elsewhere, to think not only locally, but globally. I believe that's something that Assist is really trying to do. I just feel like it's something that will stay with me for the rest of our life.
Sandy went to China in 1986. That was the year he passed away. And so the program came to an abrupt halt for the moment.
I think we stepped in at a time when the world was changing dramatically, and that was because the Soviet Union collapsed. I remember flying down to Washington to talk with somebody in the State Department to explain the program that Sandy had created. And the person I talked to had said, well, you know, there's this man up in New York by the name of George Soros who might be interested in the Assist program. I wrote a letter to Mr. Soros, and I got a phone call from a woman at the Soros Foundation in which she said Mr. Soros wants to bring talented young people from these former Soviet countries, and he wants them to go to school here in the United States for at least a year. And if we could build a partnership together, that would please him enormously. And that was an exciting moment in time for us. And it allowed us to move beyond Germany, Spain, and Sweden, and China, and add some other countries.
In all of these countries, we've got people that are committed to this global experience of these young people having this one-year experience.
Well, since we left Assist, Bob Stanley has done a terrific job of building on what had already been created, but also taking Assist to another level.
Well, when Ann and I took over Assist, we were honored and blessed to take over a program that was running so well. Paul Sanderson, who began it, laid a foundation. Ken and Betsy built on that foundation. The thing that we thought we could add most to Assist was not to make it a year-long experience, but a lifelong experience. And now, as we've begun to reconnect with our alumni, we find out what they've done with their careers. And it's astounding. Leaders in education, government, law, medicine, you name it. Our kids are taking this experience and doing something really meaningful with it.
For our assist scholars and our assist schools, host families are a critical component.
I think being a host family for assist is really about bringing the world to your house. And suddenly, every single thing you do, even cooking for a holiday or taking a walk, is an opportunity to learn.
I think we've gotten as much out of this year or more than our student has. Places that we've gone to for years, we take our student and you see it a completely different way.
The assist scholars bring with them an excitement about the world and about this experience they've had that translates to inspiration for the other children.
I think the importance of being a host family is to try to help develop global citizens. It is a door to a whole new world. We do it again in a heartbeat. It's priceless.
My name is Sarah Chamak. I am from Somaliland. Had it not been for assist, I wouldn't be the strong young woman who's sitting in front of you now.
Many of our assist alumni will go on to become dynamic leaders within their communities because they've had this opportunity to experience a way of life here that has empowered them such that they will go back and want to make a difference in their country.
Certainly my faculty colleagues over the years could not imagine their schools without those assist scholars.
The impact of the assist student at those schools is quite striking.
My name is Doan Shapir. I'm from Israel. Assist didn't just open myself to the United States, but to many other countries. It prepared me to be a better person.
Assist is more important now than it ever has been, especially for us in the United States, than to have that sense of global connection. It's been transformative for me, as I know it has been for the school.
These are kids that have found success across the program, and for that I'm tremendously grateful.
The assist experience completely changed my life. I would not be the person I am today if it weren't for assist.
I do think assist provides hope for the world. It's a simple concept connecting American school communities with students who have the potential to become leaders in their countries. There's no question in my mind that the world is a better place because assist exists.